Let's return to the spirit. Where's the spirit? The spirit is the one that dwells within. The one that dwells within projects perception. So the spirit, at its root, is completely transparent. It's perception that's void of any details. It's the principle upon which all principles are built. And that spirit has an infinite number of faces. But it's all the same spirit. Everything we've experienced in life, at its root, was one spirit, but it experienced itself as many spirits, sometimes spirits at conflict with each other, sometimes spirits in love with each other. Anyone we have ever known, it's not their spirit that we are perceiving, it's our own, dressed up as whatever we perceive them to be. They are not that. They are their own spirit. We can't have access to that. But we have a perception of them. And so it's our spirit that's dressing up as that perception. We've never perceived anything outside of our spirit. The body collects information and reports to the spirit. And so everything that we've experienced from the body is included in the spirit. And yet, when we perceive, we're always perceiving the same thing. We're perceiving the spirit. The transparent spirit. The spirit that has no detail. And through it, through that lens, we perceive all the details that exist in our perception. And so when we return to the spirit, we're returning to perceive our own perception. We're returning our awareness to the fact that we are aware. And that we are aware of whatever we decide to be aware of from within, internally. This decision gets made entirely within your body. It's influenced by everything that's happening anywhere, even in different galaxies. It's all influencing the body, and through the body it's getting reported to the spirit. And yet, the spirit is going to create for itself, to draw a perception that's completely designed by it, based on all the input, and yet she is the one that's going to decide what to make of it. This spirit was there before the world was created. The spirit incarnates in everything that exists, in everything that can perceive. But this spirit was there as a unified whole before she became the many. Veruach Elohim merachefes al pnei hamayim. The divine spirit was floating above the waters. The divine air was floating above the water within the blood as it's perceiving itself. The divine air doesn't only become divine when we breathe it in, it's divine anywhere it is. The air is divine. Why? Because it's alive. It can think. How do I know? because when I breathe it in, I think in it. That's how I know. And you think in it. And then we together decide what happens. All of us together decide what happens. How do we decide? Using this divine spirit that dwells within the air. We're constantly synchronizing with this spirit. We're breathing in, and then we get an update. We're breathing out, we're sending out an update. We process the air, we process the spirit, and then we create new instructions, and then comes another spirit. We're constantly processing spirit. We're processing food, we're processing matter, and we're processing air, we're processing spirit. And from this spirit, the world gets created. The big brain thinks in all the spirits. Everything we create in the air thinks, even when it leaves us. And that decides. That's why the world goes through different moods together, because the air is holding the moods. The air is thinking. We participate in that thought process by breathing in, thinking, and breathing out. Whatever cannot be digested by the spirit is going to be expelled. The same way as when we process food, whatever cannot be digested by the body gets expelled. What's expelled doesn't smell so good. When the spirit has to expel, it's in a bad mood. What she expels doesn't smell so good. It's the part of the spirit that the spirit itself doesn't appreciate. And so we're constantly processing air, and part of it is productive, and part of it is counterproductive. We're constantly processing food, and part of it is productive, and part of it is counterproductive. When we will know how to be only productive in spirit, our body will be only productive when it digests the food. The earth is only going to give rise to food that is comparable, complementary to the body. There's nothing toxic that hurts the body. Unlike now, whatever is leaving is toxic. And unfortunately, today there are certain toxins that are more difficult for the body to detect, and so they don't necessarily leave the way that they should. And so the body is always processing, the spirit is always processing. The spirit is producing. The spirit is also taking whatever damage is caused by the wrong spirits that enter. The wrong thoughts, the wrong beliefs, the wrong understandings. When we believe accurately, we produce healthy spirit. When we believe inaccurately, the spirit is somehow tilted in a way that's not in line with reality. And that has consequences, spiritual consequences, consequences visible in the world of thought and emotion. And to the extent that thought and emotion are complementary to reality, to that extent they're complementary to the body. The body was designed for a perfect spirit. So whenever there's weakness in the spirit, this translates as weakness in the body. Wherever there's healthiness of spirit, this will heal the body, restore and repair the body. The body is addressed to the spirit. The body's aliveness is just spirit. The thoughts and the feelings are the aliveness of the body. If there are no thoughts and no feelings, then the body wouldn't exist. The body is the expression of a deeper being that resides in spirit. And that being feels itself in the body. And that feeling is expressed in perception and in emotion. Healthy emotions and healthy thoughts heal the body. Unhealthy emotion, unhealthy thoughts affect the body in the opposite way. This is simply the order of nature of how life becomes. Life becomes first in thought, then in emotion, and then there's the physical experience of being alive. When the thought and emotion don't allow the joy of life to come through, then the physical experience is going to deteriorate. And so to return to spirit is to return to realizing your role in what is taking place. You, if you get entangled in the thoughts and emotions, might become part of the obstacle life has to go through in order to feed your body. So if you return, you can awaken, you can assist, you can direct your energy in a way that will give you more energy, so that you can do more of what is right for the one who dwells within you, the one who dwells within all, for the spirit, for the transparent spirit who existed before life began. And so that the spirits here, as they are fragmented in their own worlds, don't have to suffer. Just because they became individuals doesn't mean that they have to cause each other harm. The one spirit that dwells in all knows how to cooperate with itself. And so we want to remember that spirit. We want to remember what it's like when we are not directing life how to be, we are receiving life as it is. We're allowing what is to first remain as it is, so that we can receive it. And then from there we can go in whichever direction we can improve. But first we want to receive what was given as it is given. If we don't receive it as it is given, we don't receive it at all. There's no alternative. It's a yes or no question. Do we accept what is as it is or not? If not, then we're not here. We're somewhere else that doesn't exist. From here, we can take it wherever we want to go. But first, when the Spirit arrives, when the Spirit arises, when we create perception, first, before we can create a perception that's going to be accurate, we have to accept that what is the way that it is. We don't know even what that means. When we will find out what it really is and how it really is, we're going to rejoice. But now we don't yet know what it is. We might not be rejoicing. We might even be suffering. And yet, before we can create an accurate spirit, we have to accept that what is exactly the way it is. It was always going to be that way, and there is no one that can change it once it happened. That's the way it's always going to be, that way it happened. That's the only way it ever happened. A spirit that cannot agree with that is not really here. And so in that processing, in that air, in the spirits that are being created by that spirit, there's going to be some type of a resistance. The body is going to experience that resistance. And it's going to cause the way that it reacts to life to be different. The spirits that it's going to create when there is resistance have a different quality to them. They are foreign to the host. It's a form of spiritual disease. This darkness has covered our planet. Dark spirits, spirits at conflict with reality. Our cultures create conflict with reality. They create desires that cannot be fulfilled. They create a structure that allows for a few to be very different than the majority, and this results in constant competition. And so the spirits that get created are not in line with the nature, with the host that's allowing for the creation of the spirits. These are hostile spirits. Spirits that don't understand themselves. They cannot get back to that transparent spirit that was there before creation, that from her everything came forth. And so in order to return to that unity, we want to align our reality with the greater reality, our existence with the existence that gave us existence. This heals the spirit. When the spirit is healed, the heart can heal. The spirit is the one that offends the heart when it's not accurate. It's not the outside that offends the heart. The spirit can choose how it interprets the outside. And so it's the spirit. The spirit is the one that's manifesting reality within each one of us and within the greater whole. We are all part of that spirit. We're all talking into that spirit day in and day out. We don't stop. And the spirit is holding all the speech of our fathers and our grandfathers and our great-grandfathers. Everybody's talking into the spirit. It's all still there. It's all alive. It's so alive It's talking to you right now. All these spirits together told me what I'm saying. If they didn't exist, I wouldn't know. And so we always try to return as close to the original spirit as we can. How much can we go back to what was before the world was created? This same being that I am, the spirit, was there observing herself before creation. How close to her can I go? Then came creation, then came creatures, then came humans, then came stories, then came wars and conflicts, then came families and memories, and it started getting more and more complex, accumulating more and more detailed spirits. And yet it's the same spirit. She comes in, she dresses up, and she moves the story forward. But who was it before? Before she became this, who was she? It's that big spirit that we're breathing in and out. She was there. And so if we return there, then we return to our heart. That's the nature of our heart. The stories are not the nature of our heart. We got confused. We clung to stories. We got attached to things that are not us. And then we started feeling their pain. And we started investing identity. But they're not us. Who are we? We're spirit. We were there before it started. We were there before there was any form of body, because of us and how we wanted to dress up. The bodies came forth. And so before all the stories, there was spirit. Within all the stories, there is spirit. Who is there now? The same spirit. That's who I'm talking into. That's who is allowing me to talk. Now I'm using the English language. I'm using a specific spirit to communicate. It's a foreign tongue. It's not the natural expression of the human organism. And yet it can take us away from the very lies that were created by it. It can remind us that language is just a tool to create concept. And the world of concept cannot be known simply by collecting information from the outside. And so language might fool us into thinking we know things, when really we only know words, we don't know things. Words don't testify to whether they're true or they're lies. Words are just words. To know things is to know the nature of things from a different place. Words cannot go there. Words can direct the mind, because words took control of the mind. Stories, continuations of things that there's no reason for us to continue. There's no one that benefits when they continue. And yet they continue, because there isn't the intelligence, there isn't the clarity of the spirit. And so this is the renewal. This is the returning. This is the repentance. To remember what was before. All the details arrived. There you are. There you always were. There you always will be. That's your only truth. That's your nature. What takes place is not you. What takes place within you is your creation. You are the one that has the capacity to create. And what you observe is your creation. It's not who you are. You are the capacity to create. And this is what you happen to create. But that doesn't limit you. That doesn't mean that this is all you can create. This is not even a drop in the sea of what you can create. There's infinitely patterns of being that go to infinity, of how you can manifest the creature that you are. There's no limit to what you can be. What you chose to do till now is just that. You chose to do till now. The continuation is a choice if you can return to the transparent spirit, if you can repent, if you can allow your sins to be wiped clean. Every moment is a new creation of the Spirit. Every moment is a new beginning. Every moment is alive in a way that the world has never been alive before. Every moment is a celebration of the Spirit. The achievement of projecting a spirit from within a body is the pride of creation. It took all this complexity in order to create it just right, so that it can not just project a perception, but it can actually direct itself accurately from within that perception. So every moment is a chance to give life to the one who made life, to be a loyal messenger of the divine that wants to enhance life on this planet until it's going to be a joy. Every moment should feel like a gift that's worth more than all the possessions in the world. That's the true nature of it. We're just disconnected from our own nature, from our own organs, so that we can't experience what all the prophets are describing as the very nature of who we are. The nature of a heart that's free is that it loves and it sings and it rejoices. This is simply the nature of a free heart. This is not some type of achievement that is miraculous. This is simply the nature of a heart that's free. And how is a heart free? When it has an accurate spirit. The prophets knew how to create an accurate heart and receive an accurate spirit. Therefore, they simply said, if you were to be you, you would rejoice for eternity. You would never be sad if you knew who you are. if you knew what it means to be you. But your organs can't give you that experience because that's not what you were told. That's not how life was described, and therefore you had different beliefs. And so you're experiencing your different beliefs. Your body is simply giving you the experience of your beliefs. Your body doesn't know if you're right or wrong. If you say, now be happy because something good happened, your body will be happy. You say, now be sad, something bad happened. Okay. The body is listening to you, whether you're right or wrong. And so when we believe wrong, the body feels wrong. It doesn't have an accurate spirit. The heart is offended by the spirit. So we want to attract the right spirit so that all of us can rejoice, so that we can return life to its proper owner. This is not a game. We're not meant to fool the being that we are. We're meant to return it to its true nature so that it can be itself. Every moment that it's not itself is torment to the great spirit that includes all spirits. The spirits have forgotten their origin. They've lost contact. They are creating a conflict within the great spirit. And this is what we are here to do. We're here to process the air. We're here to process the spirit in order to heal the spirit, in order to remember and to unite and to love and to cherish and to appreciate. And so let's return. Return to our source, return to the spirit within all spirits, to the transparent spirit, to the one who is present within all of us. And on her we are building our illusions. Let's return to her purity. Let's return to her truth.